And here we are at the Daytona Road Course in beautiful Florida. A very awesome track, place to be, that's for sure, down in Daytona Beach for the third round of the Palm Rat Golf Road and Plate Series here on JCTV. And I'm Joshua Copperdoll. I'm joined by Jonathan Canfield. John, welcome back. How you doing?
Appreciate the welcome back there, Josh. I'm doing great. I hope everyone at home is having a great time. We are enjoying sunny Florida here. Daytona, the place to be tonight. Going to be attacking this road course here with these Xfinity cars and these drivers. So far, sitting at the top of our leaderboard looks like Aaron Smith, but don't think that he's running away from it just quite. He's about one of four drivers that are in the 1 minute 45 second range. And then from there, it's about a second fall off on fifth. So, I mean, the field seems pretty tight with these road and plate drivers here tonight. Looking to put on a show, and I'm excited to see what kind of show they can put on.
Now, I do want to point out, it is not really sunny in Sim right now, so it's not sunny Florida. It's mostly cloudy Florida, but everything else you said is definitely the case. And, yeah, I mean, one thing I learned last week about these guys is there's a lot of really good road course racers. And drivers, none of them want to give it up. They all want to stay close and try to claim a win. And what better place to do it than, well, Daytona International Speedway. Of course, this is a road course layout that we are using, and this is typical of if you're used to the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Series, well, that series or layout, 24 hours to Daytona. I do not believe, I have not seen any driver take a front stretch chicane, so I think that well, these guys, they're not worried about slowing down on the front stretch, except when they get towards what's going to be turn one for the road course.
Yeah, and we're coming up here on what could be, if you haven't gotten across the line yet, could be too late to get a lap down. So far, 3 drivers have not laid down a lap. The rest of the field has laid down a lap. We are in a open qualifying session. It's been going for about 55 minutes. I mentioned Aaron Smith right now at the top of the board. Johnny Rapp coming across to complete what would be his final lap to try, or maybe start his final lap to try and take that spot away from the 70. He's down right now. He went a 1:45.8, his fastest. Aaron Smith at a 1:45.3 right now has the provisional pole. Molitor on pit road. Doesn't look like he's going to be making any more laps. Bali on pit road.
So the one thing with the road courses on iRacing is for qualifying, if there's still time left and you cross the start-finish line, you will be able to finish your lap. Unless you are just completely slow. So right here, Tom went. There's 20 seconds left on the clock. He's going to cross the line, and if he chooses to, see if he can do something else. Well, not that way.
Not sure what was going on there, who that driver was.
Okay, well, the checkered flag got thrown. Maybe it's because there's, you know what, I think I know what it is. Normally, in a road course on iRacing, you would be able to complete your lap that you start. I'm wondering if it's because this is a format where there's a heat race and then the feature race, or sprint race rather, and a feature race if it's going to, or if it cut it off that way. That would make sense. Anyway, the field is set. Qualifying is over. So let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineup for tonight's sprint race. And starting on the pole is going to be Aaron Smith. Johnny Rapp will start second. Brian Molitor in third. Dustin Bally fourth. Mike Thompson will start in fifth. Samuel Stoner in sixth. Seventh, it's going to be Noah Blackwell. Welcome to the series, Noah. And Daniel Ott starting in eighth. Brandon Brush will start ninth. And Evan Hubchak will start in 10th.
11th position, you're going to see Laura Wiseman starting in 12th. You're going to see Andrew White. 13th, you're going to see Chuck Labano. Sorry for butchering that one, Chuck. We'll get it better. And 14th is going to be Sean Johnson. 15th, Jay Bast. 16th, you're going to see Ryan Campbell. 17th, you're going to see Kenneth Estep. 18th, Jake Maki. 19th is going to be Aaron Bray. Tom Wendt will be starting in that 20th position. Rounding out your field here tonight, Chris Menlo is going to be in 21st. Starting of our non-qualifiers, 22nd is going to be credited to Brandon Carl. 23rd is Nick Sarf. And 24th will be Nathan Gentry.
And that is tonight's starting lineup for the sprint race. 15 minutes you're going to see on the ticker. It's going to say 9 to go. That's because telemetry is saying there's going to be about 9 laps completed in those 15 minutes that we have here for this sprint race. So we've got a little bit of time. John, who is your pick to win?
I mean, I could take the obvious pick here for this little 15-minute sprint that we've got here. But I think I'm going to go with someone I've seen putting down some solid laps in the qualifying session prior to this. I'm going to go with that 4-car Brian Molitor. I hope I don't jinx him. I have a bad habit of doing that, but we'll see what happens with him here tonight. And he seems really consistent. I think if he keeps the car underneath of him, he has a good shot here to get this win.
We don't have a lot of time. You did not leave me a lot of time. I'm going to go with Bally. Dustin Bally. He seemed really good last week at Navarra. He seems really good so far. The 2 races we have done. It's going to be interesting to see who can get it done in the sprint. Base car, get ready to make that hard left turn as it does into pit road. Inside the restart zone, green flag is out. We're underway here in the sprint race.
Probably the most contested corner of any is going to be right here in turn 1. We're going to see a lot of action, a lot of fanning out. These guys tiptoe it through there side by side, starting to single lane it out. See if anyone takes a shot down here in this corner. Looks like a 29 and Daniel Ott's going to make that move on. I believe that was the 115 of Mike Thompson. Another passing zone down here in this corner. If you can make it work, the 115's looking back to the inside of the 29. That battle continues on back up front. Right now it is all Aaron Smith on cruise control.
And Rapp was right there through the Western Horseshoe. There with Aaron Smith. Looks like Jake Mackey? Maybe? He's got heavy front end damage.
I'll jump back and see if I can find where he might have gotten it.
Well, I see a replay here spinning in the horseshoe, but that wouldn't explain the damage.
It looks like that 13 might have had the damage before we took the green.
Out of way to start off your race. Battle for second place is there through turn 1. Rap kind of missed it. Molitor is there. Molitor actually going to take a look to the inside, going into the International Horseshoe. Not really contested. As
Molitor slips out of the corner there. That's going to allow the 52 to stay to the driver's left here with this little left-hander. You see Molitor concede the spot right there. He's going to try and cross over here. Get to the outside. Maybe try to cross over on exit. Oh, he locks up that right front just a hair. See if he tries to cross over on exit. He does not, and he falls back into line, and he'll concede to that third position for right now.
Chuck Labano in pit road. Something might have happened to the 346 machine. These two are still battling Molitor. They're going to hold off on anything for now with Johnny Rapp. Going to try to get the draft through Oval 1 and 2.
Going back and looking at what happened to the 346, it looks like he just got loose coming into the tri-oval. Overcorrected, hit the outside wall, and then just rolls it all the way to pit wall, and that's going to be what most likely retires that 346 for this sprint. Battle for second carries on right now. Molitor just slowly stalking Rapp. Bolly's there. He's waiting for a mistake by either one of them. See some battling going on behind them. 115 of Mike Thompson still trying to hold off. This is 9 on the doors, but I believe that is actually... That is going to be the 16 of Noah Blackwell. My training paints may not be updated, but I'm showing a 9 on the door for Noah Blackwell. He completes the pass on the 115.
I too am seeing a 9 for Noah Blackwell. Now, while that was going on, we actually saw a pass. Molitor and Bali both got around Rapp.
Oh, and I went back and found it. It looks like the 52 of Rapp misses turn 1. It allows both of them to swing to the inside and get around him. So mistake by Rapp. I mean, we mentioned mistakes are going to be what cost you a race. Rapp makes one mistake, and now Molitor solidly in second with Bali creeping right down his back bumper right now, trying to chase him down. Bali faster through the center there of the backstretch chicane coming into NASCAR 3 and 4.
Couple battles going on as well. Just behind Bali, it is Rapp and Stoner. That's 65. Was looking to the outside on the front straightaway.
Looking to the outside here again in the tri-oval. Probably going to try and brake a little early, maybe make a cut to the inside here. Ooh, a little run towards the outside. We'll see if he tries to cut it back. No, he does not.
Side-by-side battle in front of them. Oh! Molitor is in the grass. Bali goes to driver's left.
Both of them somehow are still straight. Yep. Good battle, but just... Again, putting Aaron Smith on cruise control right now. These guys are not putting together the laps right now, battling, trying to run down that 70. That 70 is just all on cruise control right now.
And we had to go to the blimp view to see everything that was going on. The battle between Molitor and Bali and Rapp and Stoner. Right now, everything is settled out for just a second. But that sixth place car of Ott.
Yeah. Took it right away from me there, Josh. Ott is closing on the two in front of him, Rapp and Stoner, so they need to work out their battle before they end up having a 3-car battle here. Looking back, Noah Blackwell solidly in the 7th position, no pressure out back for him. Mike Thompson, same thing in the 8th position. 9th is going to be Evan Hoopchak. And Brandon Brush is actually rounding out your top 10. Outside the top 10, I don't see any major battles going on. closest battle outside the top 10 is going to be between Ryan Campbell and Laura Wiseman.
Battle is once again on for the second position. This is what the oval track does. It allows this draft, and you see here Bali going to the outside, driver's right of Brian Molitor. Heading into turn 1.
Molitor keeps it clean and neat coming out of 1. Bali a little wide. It allows Molitor to pull away. Bali attacking these braking zones, though. Looks like right there he kind of missed that corner.
Big time.
Yet again, Molitor just pulling away. Bali good at attacking the corners, but he needs to not over-attack them and really clean up the middle portion of the exit of his corners. I think he's got the faster pace, as Molitor looks like he might have missed the corner in front of him and allows Bali to close back up.
Pretty much 5 cars all under a blanket, and this is second on back to 6th place. Molitor, Bali, Rapp, Stoner, and Ott. There is 6.5 minutes left in this race right now. And telemetry saying about 5 laps to go. You mentioned about the Laura Wiseman-Jay Bass battle. Wiseman just conceded the position to Bass. Mike Thompson and Noah Blackwell. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yep, that's correct. Noah Blackwell and Mike Thompson here.
That battles for the 7th and 8th place positions. Oh, it looks like we've had some shakeup up here in this top 6. Bali just got passed by Ott. Stoner and Rapp all got by Bali. Something has happened to Bali. He's fading here. He's down to the 6th position.
Yeah, he crossed the line in 3rd.
Rolling back, I'm going to try to find what happened to him. I'm watching replay right now. Oh, Bali way wide on turn 1. Rejoins just in front of Ott. Loses the positions to Rapp and Stoner. And he misses the 2nd corner as well. That's what allowed Ott to get by. So 2 bad corners go from 3rd to 6th for Bali. And allowed Molitor to actually gain a gap over Rapp, Stoner, who continue to be nose to tail. And then there's a gap back to Ott, gap back to Bali.
Oh, Molitor off track! Bali as well in the background. Now, Molitor's gap back to Rapp was big enough that he didn't lose the position, but just another mistake for Molitor.
And right now, not going to affect him too much, but when we look forward to what is going to be happening here after we get done with this sprint, even if he does end up relegating a position or 2, I mean, you kind of got to flip the script. Remember, top 10 invert for the feature, and we're going to be doing 35 minutes, which is 20 minutes more than what these drivers are already doing. So you add 20 minutes and you add those kind of mistakes in, I mean, that's more chance of a lot of positions lost here. So, I mean, fortunate now that he's created that gap, but certainly want to see if they can get it all figured out before the feature here.
And we just saw Noah Blackwell get around Dustin Bali. And it looks like they're still battling. Bali with the big run heading into the chicane. They're gonna spin!
Blackwell's gonna go around.
They both lose at least 2, 3 positions. Noah Blackwell back going the correct way. Another battle going on. It's Stoner trying to run down Rapp.
Oh, and I see where this battle kind of got intense. Going back to look at the pass that Blackwell made, he knocked it up, and if Bali hadn't moved out of the way, he probably would have gotten a door shot at least. And just coming down the back straightaway, it looks like Bali has that run with that draft. Tries to go outside, moves inside, and locks him up. Just tags the 9.
Bali has Laura Wiseman just in front of him. A couple of other positions as well that he could try to get before this race, this sprint race is over. Currently 13th for Bali. Go back to Stoner. Still within striking distance, sort of. Several car lengths behind Rapp. Big run through the backstretch and into the Le Mans chicane.
Battle's still on, really, for that 3rd position. That's about what we've got inside the top 10. I believe there was a battle going on for that 10th position. There still is, yes. Sean Johnson just ahead of Jay Bass, Laura Wiseman, and Dustin Bali, who's making a move on Laura Wiseman.
And you see Bali does get around Wiseman. And we are in the final lap.
Bass making a move on Johnson here. Bass trying to claim that 10th spot. That would be the pole for the feature with the invert.
I think Bali wants it. Bali tried, lost a little bit of position there. Or time, not position. Bali going to try here in the International Horseshoe. It goes wide. That allows Laura Wiseman to get underneath.
So your battle actually inside the top 10 is going to be for who starts pole. I don't see anything else really that close. I believe Aaron Smith, yeah, kind of on cruise control. He's getting ready to hit the back straightaway and hit that chicane. Rapp has closed up to Molitor a little bit, but I don't think it's close enough to make a pass yet. Stoner has dropped back. So your battle is going to be for who finishes 10th. Right now it's Bass. He's got control of it, and he's stretching that gap over Sean Johnson.
But coming off of Oval 4 now and onto the front stretch, it wasn't contested at all. Aaron Smith claimed the checkered flag. Ryan Molitor second, and it's going to be close for a 3rd, but Rapp has it over Stoner. And Ott, Thompson, and Hoopchak.
And no contest for that 10th position. Nobody close enough to get to it, so finishing 10th and taking the pole with the invert for the feature is going to be Jay Bast.
Jay Bass doing a little bit of celebrating. Maybe. But it is Aaron Smith that's going to be celebrating with a big purpose here in the Road and Plate Palm Rat Golf Series. Well, John, let's see if you can actually catch up with Aaron Smith. Maybe. I don't. Oh, I see him. Okay.
And your sprint race winner is going to be that 70 of Aaron Smith, and he has joined us here in the booth. Aaron, I mean, you kind of had it on cruise control there for 15 minutes. It felt like nobody could match your pace, and you never really had much pressure except for the first lap. Did it feel like that inside the car, or were you just out there trying to run away from these guys the whole time?
Oh, no, you can't afford to get complacent in those cars. I don't know what else they changed there. I don't know if anything changed in the yesterday's update, but it felt a lot more difficult on braking. Like, it was really easy to lock up the fronts, even if you crank the brakes all the way back. So I think that's what everyone else was having trouble with. But if you throw it down there in the slower corners and cut some of the grass on the inside, you can get the car rotated without much trouble. So I'll try to use that again here in the main event.
When we look to the main event, you're going to now reset and have to start in the 10th position. What's your strategy look like going there? Is it trying to attack as much as you can? Are you going to try and exercise your patience here, knowing that you've got 20 extra minutes to go ahead and try to get back to the front?
Yeah, I think I'll try to get to the front as soon as possible. I was rolling really well through turns 1 and 2 on in first gear, running against that grass. So I'll try to chuck it around the outside and see if I can make something of it.
All right, well, we wish you nothing but luck. And before we let you go, anybody you got to shout out or give a thank you to, sponsors, anything like that, for picking up that sprint race win?
Well, I'd like to thank the folks at Palm Rat Golf for supporting the league, all the folks at Road and Plate for having me, and y'all for broadcasting. Hopefully I'll be able to come back in here in a minute.
All right, well, we hope to see you after the feature race. And ladies and gentlemen, that is your sprint race winner, Aaron Smith.
All right, and speaking of Palm Rat Golf, we haven't told you about them yet today. Pretty soon I'm going to have this memorized and I won't need to read it off, but life's really not that complicated, and neither should it be when looking for golf clothes that fit your lifestyle. Palm Rat Golf is designed to allow you to move seamlessly from the office to the fairway to hanging with friends and family. Visit palmratgolf.com today to browse their collection of fine golf apparel, including polos, pullovers, pants, and more. See Mike Thompson practicing burning it down from his pit stall. There, as I was reading that off, that was a little bit of a distraction, but we made it through just fine. The warm-up is now finished, so we're getting ready for that feature event, which is going to see Jay Bass from the pole position. Noah Blackwell will start in second. Brandon Brush in third. Evan Hoopchak in fourth. Mike Thompson fifth. Daniel Ott sixth. Samuel Stoner in seventh. Johnny Rapp eighth. Brian Molitor ninth. And Aaron Smith, the sprint race winner, will start in 10th.
11th, you're going to see Sean Johnson. 12th, Dustin Bawley. 13th, Laura Wiseman. 14th, Aaron Bray. 15th, Kenneth Estep. 16th, Tom Went. 17th, Ryan Campbell. 18th is going to be Brandon Carl. 19th, Chris Winslow. 20th will be Andrew White. 21st, Jake Mackey. 22nd, Chuck Labano. And I'm showing Nick Sarf and Nathan Gentry on entries, but I am going to go out on a whim and say they are not going to start, and they did not start the sprint race.
All right, so Molitor was your pick to win the sprint race. Who's your pick to win the feature?
I think I still want to go with Molitor, but I'm going to go ahead and go with the obvious choice here and take Aaron Smith. I think he proved it why you pick him, and if you're going to leave me to pick first, I'm going to take that obvious choice. He proved it in the sprint race. I think he's going to prove it again here. He's got good patience, and he seems to have a good wherewithal on the track and the car to be able to figure stuff out on a quick basis.
I'm going to go with Molitor. I mean, they both got to make it up through the field. They both have to be smooth and consistent. I'm not saying Smith can't do it. I'm just saying anything can happen, and I'm pretty excited to see them two work their way back up through to get into the top positions if they can. Of course, once again, them starting 9th and 10th. Pace car is in. We're getting ready for the feature here at the Daytona Road Course for the third round of the Road and Plate Palmer Golf Series. Green flag in the air. We're underway. Smith wasting no time. He's actually going to hit the outside wall. And we're three wide.
Three wide going into one.
Still 3 wide. Oh, contact!
Getting pushed on,
Smith.
And there goes
Smith around.
You just mentioned it, Josh. Anything can happen. I mean, an aggressive move. I feel like he's still got the drive in that car to make it up, but he's losing a lot of positions right now.
35 minutes. Telemetry saying that's going to be about 20 laps. And actually, who's that? Brandon Carl's going to go off track. So let's take a look back at the replay to see what happened to Aaron Smith. Just 3 wide, not enough real estate for it.
Car on my end still looks fairly clean. Went off into the grass, so not really a chance to scrub up those tires. So clean the tires up, get her going straight again. And I mean, if anybody can charge through this field, it's gonna be Aaron Smith, because, like I said earlier, he was kind of putting it on cruise control with some of these guys.
I do want to point out, I have seen some craziness happen at the Daytona Road Course that involved one of the best that we have seen on JCTV. Doesn't race here, but Jonathan Parker spun lap 1, turn 1, spun on his first lap after pitting, and still won the race. Now, we did just have an issue in the bus stop with Andrew White. That's why we are looking at the 2. Let's go ahead and take a look back to see what happened to him, and somebody else were involved. It's an interesting tire lockup. I'm not so sure that's legit.
The lap that keeps getting worse for Daniel Ott. Looks like he just went, and he's out of here, actually. Both drivers, Andrew White and Daniel Ott, have disconnected for the night. So there's your first 2 retirees for the night.
By the way, Aaron Smith is currently P13. Make it 12th after getting around Laura Wiseman. Battle for the lead is kind of sort of starting to heat up. Noah J. Blackwell catching Jay Bast.
Blackwell just kind of stalking right now. They've got a gap, actually, to Evan Hoopchak. Rab, remember, he was up in the top 4 earlier, has made his way back to 4th. I believe he actually finished 3rd in that sprint race. Yes, he did finish 3rd in that sprint race. And he's up to 4th already. So of our top 3, he right now is the highest. Molitor finished 2nd. It's not too far behind. There's a car between them right now.
And it is Brandon Brush, which Molitor is trying to draft up to and pass on the inside of Brush. Now going to look to the inside, entering turn 1. They're going to be side by side. Brush a little wide, might lose another one to Bali here. His Rap is actually right there battling with Hoopchak as well. Blackwell took the race lead. Blackwell passed
going to make a move to the inside on Brush. Blackwell takes the lead. Bass drops back to second. You gotta wonder. I'm gonna go back and look and see if I can find our pass for the lead.
While you're doing that, Noah Blackwell, if you are a regular viewer of JCTV, Noah Blackwell, you'll recognize his name, driver, and one of the big designers in the DI9 Designs NAR series that races on Friday nights. No longer on JCTV. You can actually check them out on a different network, Legends Racing Network. I don't mind saying them. I'm actually racing in that series now, so pretty fun. Be able to be back with them, but no Blackwell. Definitely a familiar name here on JCTV.
Yeah, I went back and looked at our pass for the lead. It looked like Bass just missed turn 1, and that just opened the door for Blackwell, who had a clean corner to get in there and make the pass. Now Bass actually closing back up to the back bumper of Blackwell a little bit, so this fight might not be over. But again, like we talked about so much earlier, it's a battle of mistakes sometimes on these road courses too. And Bass made the mistake. Now he's going to try and get on the back bumper of Blackwell, and either Blackwell makes a mistake or Bass is going to have to work and earn his way past this. Well, it's 16 in the league. Hopefully next week we'll have that updated for him.
And you saw it on screen. Rap got past Hoopchak. Molitor is there. Molitor going to get past Hoopchak just before the International Horseshoe.
Don't look too far behind. Plenty of cars between them. But the gap between the cars, I mean, Aaron Smith's not far behind this.
No, not at all.
From spinning in the grass, lap 1, to where he's at right now, I would be checking my mirrors if I was Molitor and Rap and those guys that were trying to chase him down in the sprint. I'd be checking my mirrors because he's coming, and he's making every move he can.
Well, Molitor is up to P4 after getting past Hoopchak. And gonna start having a sight set on Rap. Now Bast, Jay Bast, he is drafting up to Blackwell. Bali making a move on Hoopchak. And Dustin Bali going to get position number 6. Aaron Smith right on the back bumper of two drivers, Sean Johnson and Mike Thompson, who are side by side just ahead of Aaron Smith.
And they've been right there in front of Smith this entire lap. Smith trying to make something happen, but I think he's remembering his mistake on lap 1 and not wanting to force the issue. He is going to tuck to the inside here. He is going to try and make a move on the 32. I think he's going to rescind and try to dive to the inside here as the 32 goes way outside. Oh, don't knock up into him. The 115 goes wide, probably looking in the mirror. The 32 almost booted him out of the way.
Aaron Smith almost got a twofer in the International Horseshoe. Let's see after the kink if Aaron Smith can get a pass in the Western Horseshoe. He's going to try. He's going to do it.
And look,
he's going to slide!
Sideways. He's still driving it. Wow.
That gets the two just behind him back side by side for a moment. Aaron Smith up to P9 now. Blackwell still holding the lead. That draft, though, is strong. As you see, Bass is right there. Blackwell cannot afford a mistake, and there is one! I'm not sure what just happened. It was like a wheel disconnect or something. He blinks out, comes back in. That's going to be race over for Blackwell.
Josh, you were right. His wheel did disconnect. He just confirmed it over the comms. Wheel disconnect. But I mean, he is back on track and rolling.
Oh, our race leader, Jay Bass, goes wide. Open up the door for Rapp, Molitor, and now Bali gonna get it past. Bass from first to fourth. It's just a matter of a few inches. This really is Daytona.
And in case you want to keep track on the battle for the 10th position, or the 9th position, I should say, Sean Johnson just passed Mike Thompson again for that 9th position as Mike Thompson actually went wide in turn number 2. Look at Mike Johnson looking again here.
And we had a spin. It was Ryan Campbell. Back to the battle that John is talking about. It's not much of a battle by the time we get to it. But.
Now the battle on track right now is actually going to be, I mean, up front, they're close enough together. They're not really battling yet, but, I mean, Evan Hoopchak and Sam Stoner are right there near each other. Stoner closing in on Hoopchak. He's going to look to make a move. Aaron Smith still in recovery mode. He's up to the 8th position behind Brandon Brush. Not gaining a ton right now. Not seeing a lot of pace out of that 70.
And right here we go with Stoner making a move. Looking to the outside. Going to take a wider approach into one. Not able to make anything happen. Molitor, though. He's all over the back bumper of Rapp. Remember, Molitor did have some mistakes in the sprint race. So far, so good in the feature. Just saw one car go wide. That's Hoopchak. That opens up the door for Stoner as they're going to be side by side just off the Western Horseshoe. Ooh, Stoner loose. And Aaron Smith trying to find a way around Stoner and Brush. They both go to the outside. Stoner struggling. He locks up his brakes, goes through the grass. Aaron Smith now in P7.
Move Aaron Smith up.
Jay Bass to the outside of Dustin Bali out of 1, but they get back single file. Molitor staying patient behind Rapp. I see background Brush was getting close to Hoopchak. Looks like they've settled for a moment. And right now things kind of settle. A lot of single file going on.
Jay Bass went wide there out of the backstretch chicane, almost caught the outside wall. See him now driving it down to the bottom lane from the wall.
Let's take a lap in the cockpit of Dustin Bally. I have no idea what happened to Dustin Bally.
I'm going back to look at it. Very confused as well.
I was looking over at something and realized Bally's engine was like no more. But he's rolling, so.
I mean, I run an ignition switch on my cars or my wheel as well as many others. I wonder if maybe he hit the ignition when he was downshifting to make the corner.
I don't think so. I mean, when I say it was no more, I mean it was just like he stopped. I'm wondering if there was a slowdown, if something happened. I can't imagine. I don't know. I really don't know. Anyway, Aaron Smith is in 5th place. And Jay Bass gets loose in front of Aaron Smith. Now in the grass, Smith goes to the outside. So Aaron Smith, how about P4?
P4, how about right behind P3 still? I mean, Bally has not driven away from these guys after whatever he had happened there.
Let's try to ride on board with somebody again. This time, Aaron Smith. I'm looking Brian Molitor. So, we've had some drivers pit. Evan Hoopchak, Laura Wiseman, Kenneth Step. Those guys have come down pit road. I expect to see these two up front, Rapp, Molitor, maybe Bally and Smith, to come in very, very quickly, if not now, the next time by.
I can confirm one that I'm expecting. It could be a bait, but I am using the iRacing driver's chat. And I do see the driver's chat, and nope, it's not a bait. It is true. Aaron Smith in this time. He's also going down behind Dustin Bally. Makes up a lot of time on the pit entry there. Wow. I think he made it, too. I don't think he's going to have any penalties coming out.
Quite a few drivers coming down pit road. And Bally is off and away.
I wonder if Bally didn't take all 4 tires, maybe right sides or maybe no tires.
I'm going to guess no tires at all. And we saw the strategy last week as well. Dustin Bally. He is...
I mean, he's the lone wolf on that strategy currently. Everyone else looks like they took tires because Aaron Smith made it out ahead of everybody that he came in ahead of.
Evan Hoopchak is ahead of Aaron Smith. Hoopchak, I'm going to guess right sides. It was an 8.0 second stop. That tells me that it was either a slow fuel-only stop or it was right sides, which would make sense. 5.3 seconds was the time in the box for Dustin Bally. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that.
We are closing on the 15-minute to go mark here. So we know earlier they made...
Oh, wow! Molitor passes Rapp, both going into pit road. Molitor absolutely drove it in deep.
Oh, and I look back at the replay and he just made the speed limit line. Molitor absolutely nails his pit entry.
And Molitor is off and away.
That's going to get him ahead of Johnny Rapp.
Here's Dustin Bally. Molitor, it's not going to be contested at all. Molitor is going to be ahead of Bally. And Aaron Smith is going to be... It's just ahead of Rapp.
So we've got some shakeup, and Smith is running down Hoopchak.
Molitor 7.7 seconds. I'm guessing that was... Well, we saw it. It was 2 tires. Don't have to guess on that one. And Smith is going to get around Hoopchak. Let's put Smith P3. And now the gap is 6.5 seconds from Smith to the leader with just under 13 and a half minutes left. 9 laps to go in the race. Hoopchak's going to lose a position to Rapp. Now we really have a spread out field. But here's Brandon Carl in the 77, just behind Kenneth Estep. Carl is to the inside. Step goes wide. And Carl makes the pass. '65 of Stoner is in pit road. I wonder if there was a penalty for Stoner. Chuck Labano does get around Stoner, while Samuel Stoner was exiting pit road.
back to try and find why the 65 might have gone back down pit road. I didn't see any obvious penalty. So unclear what could have been the penalty there.
Samuel Stoner continues to pressure Chuck Logano. This is for 10th place. Stoner going to take a peek to the inside and easily pass Logano before they even get to turn 1. Now this 70 machine is lurking. 4.7 seconds behind Brian Molitor, and there is 10 minutes and 7 seconds left in the race.
And on lap time, just last time, 147.013 for Molitor. Smith, a 146.305. So we're talking 7/10 in a lap.
And Rapp is actually 3/10 quicker than Smith. Dustbally is going to have Tom Wendt just ahead of him. Don't think the lap car should be a factor here. That time by Smith was quicker than Rapp by 0.3 of a second. And Smith actually fastest car on track. No surprise there. As Smith, he is closing in very quickly and will be battling Dustin Bally for the second position here in just a couple moments.
Smith, if you're wanting to track where he's at to the leader, 0.8 of a second that lap faster.
Oh, Smith locks up the right front.
There. Well, we've seen him do that a couple times tonight, though, and the car still rotates really well, surprisingly. That's not the first time we've seen him lock up right there. Not a full lockup, just a little bit on the right front. Gotta wonder if that's maybe something to do with the bias that he's running entering these corners.
That's a pretty good point. He is through the La Chicane.
Still closing on Bally. Bally tries to go high to prevent the draft. But Smith is still just closing down on these guys.
It's going to be about 5 laps to go. 7 minutes, 20 seconds left in this race. Can Smith track down Molitor if he's able to get past Bally? I think it's more of when he's able to get past Bally. As Bally pulls down to the driver's right. Goes a little wide, maybe a little bit of contact between the two.
And that's just going to allow Rapp to close up there as these two battle side by side. Smith, definitely the faster car. 0.9 of a second faster, even being behind Bally that last lap. So Bally, I mean, we talked about him not taking tires, kind of holding his own here, but also slowing these guys down as Smith is sideways there on that straightaway.
And Rapp is right here into the picture as well. Rapp could really pull, play a factor into this. And by the way, the gap is extending for Molitor. over these guys with Bali battling Smith and Rapp, trying to keep them behind.
I feel like if you're Smith right now, you need to do what you can here to quickly get rid of Dustin Bali and start putting those lap times together, because we've seen when he was in clean and he wasn't in right here behind the 24, he was closing with a purpose to our leader and to anybody on the field. He was just closing. Now you've got Dustin Bali, who's doing a great job at keeping Smith at bay and really making it about Smith getting by him. Yet again, Smith's going to peek that inside, let it go, and probably set up the move here towards the inside. No, Bali going to block it again. Smith going to have to cut and try to get a good run off the corner.
Didn't really do it. Wanted to get to driver's left because he knew going through the little kink would be a kind of an advantage, but not side by side. Now he's going to have to try down here in the Western Horseshoe without locking up.
And again, Bali blocking to that inside. Smith running him very, very cleanly, but I think you need to kind of know that you have one of the fastest cars on the track and try to find a way to maybe just give him a little nudge in one of these corners. Not really move him out of the way, but let him know, hey, I would like to get by. I have a chance to race for a win here. You're holding me up.
Now here's the thing. If Smith is able to get past Bali, the gap is still growing between Molitor and Bali, and the laps are winding down. We're about to be at about 3 laps to go. Smith taking a peek, not there. I don't know if it's enough time. He's got to gain more than a second a lap.
I agree with you, Josh, and his lap time fell over a second last lap, being behind Dustin Bali. So Bali doing his job right now, just holding off Aaron Smith. Molitor kind of on cruise control, just needing to put together clean laps. Smith needs to get by this 24.
Oh, Bali loose there. Maybe got the power down too hard. Gonna pull the driver's right. Once again, trying to block. Going into this International Horseshoe lockup. That opens up the door for Smith, who is now able to get past.
And that is what you need to see if you're Aaron Smith, but you just talked about it, Josh. The gap is made, and he's got the mountain to climb. I don't know if he's going to make it, but he's going to put in his best foot, and we're going to watch lap times as he does it, because, as mentioned before, when he was in clean air, he was setting the fastest lap times on the track. I'm interested to see what tire he's got left and how he compares to our leader, Brian Molitor.
Currently trying to watch to see if Rapp can get past Bali. This is now for 3rd place. Laura Wiseman off track in Western Horseshoe. But Aaron Smith is already pulled out to quite a big gap between himself and Bali. Over a second of a gap. Brian Molitor has taken 2 to go.
So 147.880 was Smith that time by.
Oh, Bali goes wide. Opens up the door for Rapp to get past. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, Josh, you talked about how much time Smith would have to make up right there. I mean, you account for the fact that he did not get the pass done until turn 2 last lap. He's already 3/10 up, 2/10. I mean, I don't think he's closing fast enough. I think he's going to need a mistake out of Molitor, which, as we mentioned earlier, has happened But I just don't think Smith's close enough to force that mistake. With the time remaining, I don't think there's enough time for him to get there. I think Molitor can put this thing on cruise control.
And Molitor, I mean, nobody ahead of him, nobody behind him. He can afford to not push. He cannot afford a couple of mistakes, though, as he is entering into the what is called the Le Mans chicane. I don't understand why. I really don't. But through it cleanly. 30 seconds left on the clock. So we'll definitely have one more lap in this race. So the white flag will be waving this time by Barney the flagman won't show it, but the white flag is now out. Take a quick look. Jay Bast closing in on Evan Hoopchak.
I think our second place driver, Aaron Smith, realized he was not going to be able to push to chase the lead. Dropped his lap time down quite a bit. And now just trying to cruise it home, make sure he stays in front of that 52 for second place.
Jay Bass was trying to make a move in the International Horseshoe. Not able to.
You know, and how about Jay Bass, though? Finishes 10th in our sprint race. After starting 15th, qualified 15th. Finishes 10th, so moves up 5 in the sprint. Comes here, starts pole of the feature, and only drops back to 6th. Shout out to the guy who really, like, the overall gain of the night, almost 10 spots. 9 spots overall gain of the night.
I agree with you. Great run for Bass. Personally, I get nervous when I know there is an invert coming. If I finish in the back, it's going to be starting up front. But enough of that. It is Brian Molitor coming off oval turn 4 onto the front straightaway. Checkered flag is waving. Brian Molitor, your feature winner. And here is 5th, 6th, and 7th. It's going to be, looks like Hoopchak, Bast, and Brush in that order. And side-by-side battle. Well, not quite. Stoner past Johnson with authority there on the front straightaway. And no close battles from here. That should end it. So there is one more driver yet to cross the line. But Brian Molitor, he is your winner by over 4.5 seconds on Aaron Smith. Brian Molitor burning it down.
I'm not too certain of it, Josh, but I think there might still be 2 drivers racing on track. I still see the 66 and the 13 looking like they're racing for the 15th and 16th spot to the line. And it will be a step over Mackey if that was the case.
I believe you're right.
And I think I just seen... You know what? Yep, I did see what I seen. Estep just did not lift, went all the way down into 1. And made some friends. Anyways, let's go to our finishing order, please.
The unofficial race results here at the Daytona Road Course. Brian Molitor, as mentioned, your race winner, Aaron Smith. What a drive. I mean, Yeah, it's not the win he wanted, but oh my,
Backwards
what
to
a
almost
drive.
the front.
Aaron Smith, P2. Johnny Rapp, P3. Dustin Bally, 4th place. Great fight out of him. Evan Hoopchak, 5th. Jay Bass finishes 6th. Brandon Brush, 7th. Samuel Stoner, 8th. Sean Johnson, 9th. And Laura Wiseman finishes in 10th.
Your 11th place finisher here tonight is going to be Mike Thompson. Chuck Labano, after we've seen an early exit, not really an exit, but an early accident in that sprint race, he actually recovers and is your biggest mover in the feature alone, going from 22nd to 12th. Great drive for Chuck Labano. 13th going to go to Aaron Bray. 14th, Brandon Carl. 15th going to be Kenneth Estep. 16th, Jake Mackey. Tom Wentz going to be 17th. 18th is going to be Ryan Campbell. 19th, Chris Winslow. 20th, Noah Blackwell after an early exit. Daniel Ott, also an early exit in 21st. And 22nd with another early exit will be Andrew White.
And that is your unofficial race results here tonight. And Palm Rat, Run Plate Palm Rat Golf Series here from the Daytona Road course. And life's really not that complicated. Neither should it be when looking for golf clothes that fit your lifestyle. Palm Rat Golf is designed to allow you to move seamlessly from the office to the fairway to hanging with friends and family. Visit palmratgolf.com today to browse their collection of fine golf apparel, including polos, pullovers, pants, and more. That is palmratgolf.com. Let's go ahead and talk to our 3rd place finisher, which is Johnny Rapp. And, hey, Johnny, 3rd place finish tonight. What a run.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Man, it was. I'm sweating. My leg hurts. It was a lot of work, but yeah, hey, I'm happy with P3.
There was not really anybody faster than Aaron Smith tonight. You were keeping pace, and maybe a little bit of a help there towards the end kept you really, really close to him. I mean, is there anything else you could have done?
No, I mean, I had messed up going in the pits. I slowed down too early, but it wouldn't have made that much of a difference. Aaron had older tires, and he was still, a little faster than me. So, I mean, hey, he's one of the best at the road course. So is Brian. Hey, so getting the race with them guys up front, I'm tickled pink,
Well, it was a great run for you overall tonight. Sponsor shout-outs. Who gets it done for you?
Yeah, well, I know my dad's watching out in the living room, so shout out to him. Evan with Palm Rat Golf for putting on the the broadcast and all that, and all that he does for this league. Dustin, it's a really fun place to run. Anybody that's out there watching, if you like road course racing and you like play tracks, this is the best of the best, right? We got a great community kind of built around here. It's a lot of fun to run with these guys. Thank you guys for the broadcast, and yeah, hopefully get to talk to you again soon.
All right, congrats on the 3rd place run, and we will see you next week.
Sounds good.
And that was your 3rd place finisher, Johnny Rapp. Now, we're going to bring in our 2nd place finisher, Aaron Smith, which John is going to talk to him. Aaron, real quick, though, before I hand it over to John, I just want to say, what a run.
Yeah, made a pretty bad mistake there at the beginning. I wasn't sure if the car could take the curbs like I tried to send it over, but it didn't, and I straight lined somebody, so I do apologize for that. But it was a fun race overall. Wish I could have had a little more speed there, but once I caught Dustin, I was kind of out to lunch.
Yeah. First of all, again, what a run. I mean, you go from record to almost checkers there at the very end. One spot short. We talked to you after the sprint race, and you mentioned the can't get complacent. And as you said, you made a mistake right there in the beginning. Then you get behind Dustin Bally, and you guys go at it fairly well for quite a few laps, even though he was quite a bit off the pace compared to you. What was it like for you? Did you know how quickly you were closing on Brian, and did you know that you needed to get around Dustin quickly, and did you have anything you could have done differently to get around him?
Well, I had about a second on Brian on every lap before I got to Dustin. I don't know if it would be enough for me to catch him, because it was evening out over the run, so it's certainly debatable. But once I got to Dustin, I tried to get in his draft out of the chicane, and it kept bogging me down about 2 car lengths behind him. So he started pulling away around the start-finish line, and then I'd get him on braking. So he guarded me well, did about everything he could there, and just missed it on that last one of the last laps in that first horseshoe, and that's all I needed. So I wish it could have happened a little sooner, but it was a good finish nonetheless.
I mean, there's certainly no taking away from the fact of what kind of run you put together here tonight. Who do you have to thank that helps you get these kind of runs done and also help get you to second place here?
Well, I'd like to thank all the folks in the field for putting on a great race. Every week it's been fun with them so far. Had a great season last time out, and hopefully we'll have another good one here. I don't know how many more races I'm going to be able to run this season, but I'll try to make as many as I can. I've got a few other leagues starting up here soon that I want to try to take part in, but yeah, I'll stick around for as long as I can, and I'd like to thank y'all for broadcasting, all the folks at Palmrat Golf for supporting the league, and folks at Road and Plate for, once again, putting on great races every week. So looking forward to getting back at it wherever we are next week.
Yeah, well, we here at JCTV will see you next week, and I'll see you Monday, buddy.
Yeah, 10-4.
And is your second place finisher there, Aaron Smith. Josh, I believe you've caught up with our race winner, probably a very happy race winner. Also, your pick to win.
Yeah, and I was actually going to mention that. I'm glad you did, John. Brian, most of the time when I pick somebody to win, they're not excited to hear that because interesting things happen to them. I picked you to win, and, well, I mean, hey, you won. So congrats on the win. But, I mean, you were really fast there in the sprint race. Heading into the feature, starting in 9th. Knowing you had Aaron Smith right next to you, what's going on in your mind before the green flag even drops?
Well, before the green flag even drops, I saw Aaron pull away pretty easily during the sprint. And granted, I was racing Dustin pretty hard during the sprint, and I made a few unforced errors. I still thought he was the fastest car out there, so I knew if I was going to have any chance in the future, I had to make 0 mistakes. And then I saw a flash of yellow going off into the grass after the start, and I thought, okay, it's on. Just got to get through the traffic clean and see what happens.
Is there anything in your mind that you thought that he would still not be out of the race, that he would be able to make the incredible run that he did?
Well, yeah, I mean, in the sprint, he ended up 8 seconds out front, and I was keeping an eye on what the gap was. Because I knew he had, about that much pace on me over 15 minutes earlier. So I just tried to cut out those unforced errors and do the best I could. And it worked out. Good pit strategy, too. I just only took right sides and as little fuel as I needed. And I was in and out as fast as I could be.
Well, it's definitely a great run for you. And great win as well. Here in the feature race. Sponsors, shout-outs, who do you have to thank?
Well, of course, Palmrat Golf for sponsoring the league. Dustin for putting it all together, and then you guys up in the booth for calling the races. I appreciate that. And feel free to keep picking me for wins, especially at ovals.
Sounds good. Well, next week is an oval, and I'm sure we'll see you there.
All right, see you.
That was your feature winner, Brian Molitor. And, well, so far he's been pretty common name up here in the broadcast booth for interviews. And I'm sure we're going to continue to talk to him as the season goes on. But, John, I mean, I know you weren't here last week, but another fun race here that we've called, and I mean, I think these guys are putting on a great show all 3 weeks.
absolutely agree with you, Josh. I went back and watched last week's race. It was, I mean, I feel bad for missing last week, first of all, but it was a good race last week. Good show first week when I was here. I love the format that they're going with here with a sprint style race moving into a invert for the feature. I love that invert. I think it shakes up the field a little bit, and you see guys like Molitor who was able to manage the situation, and I mean Aaron Smith really able to manage the situation too. Just Molitor didn't have as, I would say, dramatic or chaotic of a first lap as Smith did, and I think Johnny Rapp put it best when we were interviewing him that these guys, when it comes to road and I wouldn't even say just plate, I would say ovals. When it comes to that, it seems like these guys are the best. I think Brian Molitor's proven that. Indy Oval going into last week and this week with the two road courses. I mean, the guy's quick on a road course and an oval, and you just heard him that he feels very confident on the oval. So to be this fast in a road course and pick up a win and then be as confident as he is on ovals, I think we are seeing the very best of the dual class NASCAR style stock car drivers here.
And Dustin Bally already has the points updated. Now, I don't have a fancy graphic to show you, but I can tell you Brian Molitor is leading points over Aaron Smith by 10 points. Brian Molitor has 177. Aaron Smith has 167. So this was Brian Molitor's second win. Aaron Smith with 3, and then Matt Schlosser with 1 win. The 3 winners in the 6 races, sprints and features together that we have had. So, I think that is going to do it for us here at JCTV. We are off until Tuesday. The Amsoil Truck Series on Saturday nights has an off week, as Real NASCAR is racing on Saturday nights for the Cup Series. So the next event you'll see is going to be the Slide Job Racing League as they continue the postseason. Race number 3 of 5 takes place at Bristol. You can catch that one at about 8:45 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday night. After that, it is, well, right back here for Road and Plate. And we are at the Atlanta Oval. So going back to the plate side of things for this league. And it'll be the second one. Second oval on the season so far. So that's going to do it from us here at JCTV. Thank you guys for watching for sure. And big shout out to the admins and the drivers as well. And Jonathan Canfield, thank you for joining me. And on behalf of Jonathan Canfield and the entire outstanding crew right here at JCTV, I am Joshua Copernell signing off, saying so long, stay safe, and we will see you next time.